we have to talk about the 2021 NFL draft because talking about not very good performances, Zach Wilson was terrible on Sunday against the Patriots. And to me, it was a culmination of really just disappointing play over the last, I don't know, year where consistently he has not shown progress. Both of you guys, New England fans, and of course, you have had your, outside Geno Smith, you've had your fair share of success against young Jets quarterbacks. But I want to ask you guys, when looking at the 2021 quarterback class, what is your top five rankings? Because we did this a couple weeks ago. Only about 30% of first round draft picks succeed in becoming a good to above replacement level starter. And when you look at the draft class, I think we could all agree not all five of those guys, and Trevor Lawrence, Zach Wilson, Trey Lance, Mac Jones, and Justin Fields are going to hit. So, with what we have seen through 7 weeks, what are you in on, or who are you in on, and who are you out on?
I think the only person that I'm fully in on is Trevor Lawrence. I think everybody else has a case to prove. Now, I will say that I don't think Zach Wilson is going to be anything. So he's out. I'm still not a believer in Trey Lance, whether that has to be with injuries or just he's very raw talent and we really haven't even seen much of him. Justin Fields, while he's looked better the last 2 weeks, still not a big believer. So that leaves what? Mac and Trevor, right? Yeah. So and Mac, I think, still has some stuff to prove, even though I think he is probably. I know people are riding hard on Trevor Lawrence because he's played very well, and I'm with that. I love Trevor Lawrence. I think if he had better weapons, that he'd be playing a lot better. But yeah, I think those two guys, Trevor and Mac.
So while I'm with you on Trevor, and while I'm reserving my judgment on Mac because I feel like he plays on a team that where everybody seems to be replaceable, and at this point, even the quarterback seems replaceable. Um, I'm gonna show some love to Justin Fields. I feel like I've been hard on him in the past, but I'm gonna change the narrative a little bit, and I'm gonna say how guys like Josh Allen and Tua in their third year when given a true number one wide receiver, uh, how much their games can jump, but leaps and bounds when they add a new number one, like a Stephon Diggs, like a Tyreek Hill, how much better a QB can be. And I think he's looked a whole lot better these last couple of weeks. And I don't want to overreact and say so much better that, oh my gosh, this guy's going to be an MVP. But I'm saying so much better that maybe the Bears do actually have something there, that something can start brewing. Maybe they do have their guy under center because, man, he is dynamic. And you saw it in that game against New England, what he can do. And just, this past week, while they did lose to the Cowboys, and they lost by like 20 points, I believe. I mean, there's not much you can do there on the offensive side when the defense is giving up that many points. But he played a solid game against a very good defense there. I think you stick with him. You don't give up on that kind of pick. With that kind of talent, you need to just continue to build around him. So I'm gonna say I think Justin Fields is legit. I'm still high on T Law. I believe in what the Jaguars are doing. I think Doug Peterson is the perfect guy for him. So T Law is legit. Zach Wilson has all the skills, all the talent in the world to be that guy in New York. But while he has the skill set, he has the arm talent, he has the athleticism. I hate to say it, I don't know if he has the brains. I really don't know. So I'm off on Zach Wilson. Mac Jones, I'm still iffy about after seeing what Bailey Zappi can do. I'm not knocking Mac. I know Mac is better than the guy, but he's not moving the needle for me just yet. So I'm going to reserve my judgment on him, and I'm going to reserve my judgment on Trey Lance too, because we haven't really seen the guy on the field.
This episode is brought to you by our friends at BestAmp. When it comes to sports betting, BestAmp is changing the game. You want to maximize your return, and with the BestAmp app, all you have to do is download it and sign up on their different affiliate sportsbooks, and you can see all the best odds given straight to you in one single place. The visual tools are very helpful, and by the end of the year, you can use it for accounting. You can get all the analytics that you'll need so that you can bet like a pro. Be sure to use our referral code at WiseGuys, WISEGU, Why, yes. Thank you to BetStamp for supporting us. And as always, back to the show. The problem with Zach Wilson is he just can't play in structure. Every single play, it's him scrambling and not hanging in the pocket or stepping up to make a throw. Last year, one of his issues was he just couldn't even hit a guy in the flat, and he was so inaccurate and not taking what defenses were giving him. And this year, it's been the same story. But this last week against the Patriots, he was just even more frantic under pressure. Whenever the heat would come, we've seen it week in and week out. He gets frazzled. He tries to make a play, and oftentimes he's very good at extending the play. And that is one of his greatest skills, being able to make something out of a dead play. But ultimately, he doesn't know when to throw the ball away. He doesn't know when to just let the play die and move on to a next down. Now I'm watching this on my couch. I'm sure Zach Wilson knows this. And on, I think, his third interception, he did try to throw it away, but he kind of short-armed it, and it became an interception. When I watch his game, he has the skill set. In fact, this year, he actually leads the NFL in yards per completion for what it's worth. He had a great second half versus the Steelers, and he won them that football game. But since that first game against the Steelers this year, he's been a train wreck. And I say, these next 5 weeks for the New York Jets are going to determine whether or not he is the guy moving forward. And now I'm not one to give up on a quarterback within 2 years, but typically we see these guys take those steps that are necessary by their second season. Josh Allen was a perfect example. It wasn't pretty to start, but by the end of it, he was pretty darn good. Jalen Hurts last year was able to help his team get to the playoffs, and he was an asset to them. We see by the end of the year, I mean, now we got 18 or 17 weeks of games. We're going to know by the end of this year. And we'll look at the Jets' next 5 games. It's one of the toughest schedules in the league. I don't know how they got exactly thrown into this. They got the Bills twice, the Patriots again, the Vikings, and the Bears. I couldn't pull up the exact schedule, wasn't coming up for me. For Zach Wilson, that is for the NFL's best defenses, by then we're going to have a very clear answer as to whether or not he is the guy. The next, really, the biggest quarterback here, the safest option, and the one with the most projectable game is Trevor Lawrence. But just like Kenny Pickett this year, he has struggled in the red zone, and the fourth quarter of games turned over the ball way too much. Lawrence is going to be good. I don't know how great. I never felt like he was in the same level of a Joe Burrow or an Andrew Luck coming out of school, but he was the best quarterback here. And I feel like he is a full tier above the next guy in Mac Jones. Mac Jones is good, but as Patriot fans, you've seen him more closely. Does he have a special or elite skill that can really make him a top-end quarterback?
Well, I dive deep into that in one episode. Listen, man, he flashes. He's got the intangibles. We know that. I'm not here to talk about Mac Jones right now because I think that Bill is kind of doing him a little bit dirty with giving him Matt Patricia and Joe Judge as his offensive coordinators, quote unquote. That's terrible for a second-year quarterback. With Trevor Lawrence, again, look at the receivers he's throwing to and look at the receivers a Tua has or a Josh Allen has or I don't know, keep going down the list. Kirk Cousins, Jalen Hurts, all these guys. I mean, even Ryan Tannehill when he was doing good, look at the receivers he's had. What is Trevor Lawrence throwing to? Zay Jones, Christian Kirk, Marvin Jones, who's about 3-4 years past his prime, where he could have been like a good, solid veteran receiver, but he's not that anymore. And Evan Ingram, okay. Travis Etienne is starting to show that he's got the ability to be a beast for him, and that's great for a young quarterback having a bell cow back to rely upon and turn around, just hand the football off. And I believe he can catch the ball out of the backfield pretty well.